So today with us on Stool Talk, we're honored to have a special guest. Here on Stool Talk, we walk in our purpose, on purpose, and today's guest is definitely doing that. Matter of fact, she's balling in her perfect purpose. She's a great athlete, a great team player, a great student athlete. She goes above and beyond. So she's not only putting in the work on the court, she's putting it in the classroom and amongst her peers. Today we have with us, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, DayVeonna Smith. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So first off, I want to say congratulations on finishing a great season in
Yes.
volleyball. How was that for you, and how did it turn out in your eyes?
It was a really great season for us. I would say it was one of our best seasons since I've been on varsity. We came second place this year in the championship finals. It was a lot of fun. We worked really hard. Unfortunately, Lima Seniors just in our city league now, and it was a little bit harder, but we came second place, so that's good.
Yeah. When did this volleyball journey for you start? Was volleyball even your first sport? Did you play any other sports?
Well, I live in a basketball family, so of course I started with basketball. You know, my mom, my dad, my brother, all my siblings. So I started as basketball since I was younger, and then when I entered seventh grade, I started playing volleyball. I went to Emmanuel Christian,
Okay.
so I played volleyball there. And then my freshman year, I traded schools and I went to ANSAT, the Science Academy. So I had to play Bowser volleyball. So I played volleyball for Bowser for the past 4 years. And then freshman year, I also quit basketball. So volleyball has been my main priority since freshman year.
Yeah. What do you love about volleyball?
Well, the conditioning itself is a little easier, so most kids love that. But I think it makes teams closer. Six people on one court, the cheers, the hype, being able to look at the crowd, have ongoing cheer and stuff like that. I feel like it gives a different energy.
Yeah.
So I really love playing volleyball because of that specific reason.
Yeah. And how has volleyball shaped you in particular as a student athlete?
Um, it's taught me a couple things, like not to critique myself on something, because volleyball, it's a go with the flow in the moment type of game. Everything happens quick. Everything you don't expect, you have to expect. You know, there's a call that you miss, but the game's still going. It's taught me to be quick on my feet, really pay attention to a lot of things. I've also been able to juggle school and volleyball, so I had to learn how to do that too.
Yeah, and that was the question I was going to ask too. How do you balance it? Because like I said, you do academics, you do sports, then you're a part of some other stuff, which we're going to talk about as well. Then being a teenager, like how do
Yeah.
you balance this?
Well, volleyball is mostly connected to my school right after school. I do a whole day of school after school. I go to volleyball. But my team, we're very school motivated. So if you're falling behind and they're like, hey, you better get this up before the next game. So long bus rides to games, we're all doing homework. When we're sitting there waiting for the bus, we're all doing homework. Some of us go to Bowser, some of us go to ANSAT. So we're helping each other. It's the people itself helping me, along with me helping everybody else as well. So
Yeah,
it makes it
and
a little easier.
what were some of the challenges you faced this season, and how did you overcome them?
Um, this season, I was more focused on. I had a past injury before, but I overcame it. It was really hard at first, but I did it. I'm a serving specialist as long with the setter, so the pressure of it all, when you have to go in and it's like game point and you have to be that server. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh gosh, I had to get a lot more confidence. But my mom always told me, like, her phrase, like, we like pressure. So I had to
yeah,
like really lock in.
definitely. What does family mean to you, and how has the support helped you up until this point?
Family means a lot to me. I really love my family. We're all very close. Having them at my games all the time. Senior night, especially, there was so many people there. But even my regular games, I had like six plus people at my games. They're very supportive. My mom gets me where I need to go game wise because I just got a car. So before then, she was driving me everywhere through this whole season. She can't. They come to my away games even if they're far out. Family members that live in Lima, they come to my Lima senior games. Like, it's just a really close thing to be able to have that support. Even like family members I don't really talk to as much, they're like, oh, she has an important game coming up. Let's go watch, you know?
Yeah. And what can you say, being that you have played multiple sports, but you wanted to gear and just go towards one? What advice could you give to the youth or younger people that might be struggling with picking and choosing sports, and letting them know, like, pick the one that you want to do and don't just do the other one if your heart ain't in it, or whichever one you choose? Speak to that, being that you have done that.
I feel like you always try something new. If you don't try, then you never know how it's going to work out. So since I did basketball for so long and I was juggling both, my when I got to a certain age, I was like, I was doing this for so long, but I'm if I thought about it, that means it was a good decision for me. So if you have to think about the second one, then it's a bigger feeling for you. So if I wasn't more driven towards volleyball, I wouldn't even thought about quitting, changing sports or anything. So I would say always try new things, always, no matter what.
Yeah, and what would you say to the athlete who may be struggling with an injury or coming back from an injury to push on and to be there for his team or her team?
Um, I would say don't be scared. I had an ankle injury. I was blocking when I came down and popped my ankle out of place, but I never wanted to play front row again after that. But you have to do what your team needs. You have to do it for yourself as well. If I would have never got back in the front row, I would know I wouldn't have got better. You have to
Yeah,
have multiple techniques, multiple specialties, and that makes you a better player as it is.
yeah. And what do you think has been the key to growth in volleyball as far as for you and your team over the years?
I would say staying motivated, staying focused. We don't have a lot of drama on my team, not a lot of pettiness, I would say. We stick to when you walk in the gym doors, everything outside of it's gone. So stay on the court, stay with your team, and then once you leave the court, you handle your issues responsibly. But on the team, you have to be, we always say you can't be six girls on the court, you have to be one team.
Yeah.
So we have to stick together.
Yeah. And speaking of that, what type of leader would you say you are? Do you lead with your play or do you lead vocally?
I feel like I lead more vocally because I do what I have to do on the court, but I'm more of a like motivational type leader. So if a girl's down, she comes back on the bench, she's not feeling good, whatever, give her the water, give her a little pep talk, little speech, be like, hey, you got it next time. I'm more of I love the cheers and the thrill of it. So give her a little talk when she goes back out and she does a good thing, then I'd be the loudest one for her, like knowing she has that support.
Yeah. Where did that come from? That just been inside you since you've been involved in sports?
I've always been like energetic and a nice person. I've been nice since I was little. I feel like my mom, she's really taught me to like be nice to everyone. You never know what somebody else is going through. So
Yeah.
you always have to be the motivation for somebody else just in case they don't have it.
Yeah. And shout out to your mom as well.
Yeah.
Good basketball player back in the day. I remember first found out her and Ronell was cousins. I'm like, you don't know him? She like, that's my cousin. And it
Yeah.
turns out they cousins. They work rocked the number 30. They both could shoot jumpers real good.
Yeah.
It was man, it was amazing. Now you're carrying on the legacy,
Yeah. But
as
since
well.
I switched to volleyball, my brother is now carrying on the basketball legacy and he's
Okay.
something.
Hey, but legacy is in more than one. Just it ain't just
Yeah.
basketball, it's in sports, period. Because as your team was doing good and you were going to it, we were seeing your posts, we was hearing your name, and your team was talked about. So you was carrying it on in that aspect. As you prepare to transition to college, how you plan to stay connected with volleyball, whether you play it or whether you just be a fan?
Well, I am going to Central Michigan. So I plan on their D1 school. So it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna at least try out for the
Okay.
D1 team. But if I don't make it, that's fine. I plan on playing club or intramural volleyball. Stay active. It'll help me stay in shape, everything, give me something to do because I can't just be school, 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 school. Since I've been an athlete for so long. So I plan on doing club or intramural volleyball.
Yeah. And as people look back, what kind of athlete do you want them to remember you as?
Mostly probably like what's the word, like exciting, motivational. But like she was always happy on the court, no matter how bad she was doing. She always brought energy. So like an energetic person.
Yeah. Let- so tell us about this. You got a zoo conservation internship, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about your role of that and how did that come about?
Um, I was a freshman at ANSAT, and my teacher, Mrs. Kubiak, she noticed how invested I was in her class specifically. Because in my school, there's like four different type of animal programs, so I was mostly invested in hers, and she recommended me to the zoo because she's connected with them. So when the internships came out, I was the first person she chose. I was the youngest. She's never recommended a freshman before. So I was the youngest. She put her name out there for me, and I became a conservation intern summer of 2021 on my birthday exactly. So I just became of age. I was the only girl. So, but luckily some of the people went to my school as well, so I kind of knew of them. But
Yeah.
it was a little scary, but I held my own.
Yeah. What projects or responsibilities have you worked on being a part of the internship?
Well, our internship is to protect the endangered population of the Blandings turtle. So it's a kind of big turtle, long yellow neck. So we go out in like swamps and marshes and we set traps. And if we catch the Blandings turtle, we keep data and collection on it so we can check the population rates, the growth. And then when we get like female turtles, since I was a part of the internship, we have a juvenile turtle raising type thing. So we keep all the babies because when they're born, they're like this big. So we feed them a whole bunch and make them like the size of a 1 year old turtle at a very young age so they survive better out in the wild. So I was a part of that population growth along with the spotted turtles. And I also this year or last year became a sturgeon technician. So I help with the sturgeon as well. And we do a sturgeon release every October. We release over 1,500 fish, or I think 1,500 is our cap, and we help their population as well.
Wow, wow. How have you grown while you were in this internship?
I've always been a talkative one, but I was like a more quiet, I'm going to do this while you do this. But I learned to like connect because they do it through different schools. So I had to learn to connect with new people, not the ones that just came from my school. I gained more friendships. I became more vocal. I became a vocal speaker during this internship. I had to do a lot of commercials and TV interviews and stuff like that for the zoo. So it helped my, I would say, performance in front of audience a lot.
Yeah. Wow. Then that's definitely going to be needed as you go to the next level. Congratulations on being accepted to Central Michigan as well. What made you choose that for your next journey?
Well, my first major was marine biology. That's a very big major, very different branches. So I decided to narrow it down smaller and smaller and smaller until I got to specifically wildlife conservation, which is basically what I'm already doing at the zoo. So I had the knowledge, I had the experience, all that. So when I was looking up schools, nobody had my specific program. They all just had marine biology or like environmental science. And I found out about CMU, and they have specifically a conservation program called EEC. It stands for Evolution, Ecology, and Conservation. So I had to be my final choice. It's exactly what I wanted in a nice distance from home, but still kind of far away, and it's right
Yeah.
on the water. So
Yeah. How do you feel your experience with your internship and even playing volleyball, being a teammate? How do you feel like that will help you is when you go into your field in college?
Well, my field is basically what I've been doing the last 4 years. So it's really helped me. I have a lot more knowledge in the field. I've met different people from different branches of the field. So I feel like I'll have the full layout genre of it. I'll know what I'm doing. I've worked in school with equipment, along with the zoo with the equipment. So I'm not going to be like a rookie out in college, not knowing what I'm doing in my class. But volleyball as well, you know, meeting new teammates, having to go against different opponents that act very differently. It'll prepare me for the college experience, as people call it. Like, it'll help me with, you know, higher level stuff, because
Yeah.
City League versus like playing like St. Ursula, Central Catholic, Lima Senior, like it'll prepare me for that, for harder times.
Yeah. Can you motivate your classmates and your team, people that you own in that field like you do in volleyball?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Like, yeah, but that's gonna be amazing. Can you give words of encouragement for the underclassmen and even for some people that's picking and choosing the school on how to make a good choice?
Never minimize yourself to just one choice. Even though I was devotedly set on Central Michigan, I also applied to at least 4 or 5 other schools just in case. So once I was accepted, I was like, oh yeah, this is where I'm going. But don't minimize yourself. Apply to as many colleges as you want. It's not going to mess up your track. Anything that has your field, anything that you feel would help you grow somewhere else. Don't be scared. Try things
Yeah,
new. Always try new things.
yeah. Do you have a specific career goal in mind with going into this field?
Um, I want to be a wildlife conservationist. I don't know if I'll accomplish that and stay in Michigan, or if I'll come back and be like one at the Toledo Zoo where I've been. But that is my final goal. It's more of a more on hands-on impact type environmental science versus like marine biology, and you're like in a lab doing tests. This one, you go out, you catch, you help the environment on its own with your own 2 hands, and makes you feel something different.
Yeah, and just like I asked you with the volleyball, when they got you on their staff or they got you in their group, what are you bringing to the table in this field that you're going to do in? Because you don't see, you seem like everything you put your hands to do, that you do it, you know, good. You go above and beyond, and you know what I mean. You give it your all.
Yeah.
But what are they going to get having you in that field?
Well, the effort, I always bring energy. I love energy. No matter if I'm on the court or on off, I'll lead the cheers from the bench. But I won't expect anything. I'm not giving anything. I just have to work hard, and I'll be the most hype person on their team, like the most energetic person on the team. And when I get my time to show what I have to do or need to do, then I'll give it all, full purpose.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any mentors or teammates or family members you like to thank and support you in this journey? And what's one thing that they
Um,
have taught you that sticks with you every day?
well, my mom, of course. My mom is my rock. She's always taught me not to let others crumble or kill my energy. She gave me the phrase, we like pressure. It always taught me, you know, in tough situations, you just have to keep pushing, you know, make the best out of it. My coworkers at the zoo, they've helped me a lot, especially my boss, Matt. He wrote me the letter of recommendation for CMU. He's an alumni from there. So he's helped me in a big step towards my journey. He wrote me a handful of letters. He's offered me for different interviews, different commercials, you know, really helped me become a bigger, better person. Um, Anyone that's ever supported me, I owe a lot to, because anybody that's in your life shapes you to be a person that you are, negative or positive. So,
Yeah, definitely. And finally, if you could sum up your journey in one word, what would it be and why?
if I could sum up my journey in one word, I feel like the word would be adventurous.
Oh,
Um,
I like it.
it's a lot of ups, downs, excitement, and energy. So even when you're in a tough spot, you always come out of it on top. Even when we have the long hour-and-a-half bus ride, you find a good thing out of it. You meet new people, you experience new things. It's just one big wild adventure. Life it is.
Yeah, definitely. And if you, whatever comes to your heart, can you speak words of encouragement to the youth?
Yeah, I feel like I could speak encouragement in any situation. I feel like that's just me. But being positive has always been on the pro side of mine. Just the way I was raised, I guess.
Yeah,
So I would always tell kids whenever they need help, don't be scared to ask. Don't be scared to try new things. Just step outside of your box for once. If you don't like it, go back in it. But at least take a foot out for once.
definitely. And I got a couple questions for you before we leave. Um, if you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why?
I would be a turtle.
A turtle.
Turtles are aquatic and also land animals. They eat anything they can find. They're fast, they're sneaky, and they have that protective shell around them, but it doesn't limit them to what they have to do.
Yeah. Which one would you pick, a lion or a tiger?
Mm, tiger.
Tiger.
I
Why?
feel like I feel like lions are stereotyped. Um, if I was a lion, it would limit me for some of the things I would love to do. If I was a tiger, I would get different benefits.
Okay. So when you guys were playing your games, right, and you were getting ready for your volleyball games, what was the vibe like? What you was listening to? What things was getting you hyped, getting you ready to go?
So well, when we're at the school waiting for the bus, we're mostly doing homework. When I get on the bus, I listened to the same Arctic Monkeys album every time on the bus for away games. And when we got to the locker room, our captains talked to us. I listened, got dressed. Coach talked to us, and it was just go from there. Home games, though, we had a playlist. And thanks Jayla Jackson for that playlist because they got all of us in the mood, good or bad. We were all
Yeah,
just really hyped together, even at the championship game, which was
yeah.
at Lima Senior, but Jayla played it on her phone just to get us in
Okay.
that home mood.
Yeah, definitely. And what things do you like to do when you're not being in your intern and when you're not playing volleyball, when you just to yourself? What other good things you like to do?
I like coloring, like markers, big sketchbooks. Already I can't draw, so already drawn out sketchbooks. I like to color, listen to music, and I like escape games. Like if I went to escape room, I would love it. I've never been, but
Yeah.
like my recently for Christmas, I got like a Criminal Minds murder mystery book, so I've been into that recently.
Definitely, definitely. Well, we thank you. We're spotlighting you for all your hard work, your accomplishment on the court, and even in your internship, and even furthermore to come. We pray that God bless you, that He covers you, that He gives you favor when you go to Central Michigan, and that even when it comes to your decisions on what you want to do, may it be in His will and in His alignment, and may you be focused, may you not be scared, may you be bold as a lion, and may you just continue to be great. And greatness is inside you. DayVeonna, you have everything you need inside you to be great. So continue to do it.
Thank you.
Yep, yep. Ladies and gentlemen, DayVeonna Smith.